The two headliners for the Republican primary runoff for Lieutenant Governor were both in North Texas today. State Senator Dan Patrick in Dallas, Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst in Arlington. 2 weeks ago, Patrick took a commanding chunk of the GOP primary vote, leading the incumbent Dewhurst by a wide margin in that primary. And Fox 4's Sean Rabb joining us now with what both men were doing today and what they hope to accomplish. Sean.
Yeah, trying to get those votes and hearing the issues from both those core Republican issues. They are about the same. Really no stark differences. Both men, though, trying to find degrees of separation and convince voters to, if you're Dan Patrick, change political course. But if you're Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst, convincing voters you're not done yet. Now, let's start off with State Senator Dan Patrick. He met with the media after a private luncheon in Dallas, and with him today, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, who's been on the Patrick platform since the very beginning. The state senator from Houston says election night showed Texas Republicans are indeed ready for a change.
We need someone with passion and energy who's going to complete the conservative agenda that has not been completed. Look, our border is not secure. We need school choice. We have an education crisis in the state. We don't have our water because those needs have not been addressed that we need for 20 million more people. Look at the roads in Dallas-Fort Worth. There are cones everywhere. These are issues. We can't rest on our laurels ever. In a state this big that's growing, we can never say, look at what I've done.
And he credits today Senator Ted Cruz for, in his words, a roadmap of how to win a statewide race with less money and a grassroots army. Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst, meantime, on the west side of the Trinity today, he was speaking at the Republican Women of Arlington's lunch. Dewhurst today asked for those who voted for Todd Staples or Jerry Patterson election night, who were also in the running for Lieutenant Governor, to vote for him. And he told Fox 4 he would overcome the lead Patrick now enjoys, whether voter turnout on May 27th is high or low.
We're working real hard on, doesn't make any difference whether you were a Patterson voter in the primary, you were a Staples voter in the primary, or you were a Patrick voter in the primary. We're going to give you information in which will enable you to make a vote, informed vote on character, all right, on truthfulness, on the ability to get the job done. And I think on all three of those, I win hands down.
Well,
this is primary night, right?
This is primary night, losing on primary night to Dan Patrick by some 14%. That's a lot to overcome in any runoff.
Some people think it's impossible. Does Dewhurst, I mean, it was funny. He didn't, according to you, he said he didn't care about turnout. It doesn't matter. He's going to win either way. But he's got to have turnout, right?
Well, what he meant by that is whether it was a lot of people voting in the Republican primary on the runoff or not. Whatever the numbers are, he feels like he'll be able to overcome the deficit that he now faces. But remember, historically, whoever's leading going into the runoff typically wins. In fact, one anomaly to that was when Ted Cruz defeated David Dewhurst 2 years ago for the U.S. Senate. Cruz was actually losing by 10% going into the runoff. Also today,
but he was kind of trending. That's the difference. I don't think Dewhurst is coming from behind
trending
not yet. Like Cruz was.
He's certainly not trending as he would want and would hope.
Got it.
And on this this new hot button issue, I should say, of equity for women when it comes to pay, Dan Patrick says he believes women should be paid the same as men, but does not believe government should enforce it. And Dewhurst today said if there was some sort of equal pay proposal that legislators were debating and it had the votes to come out of committee, Steve, he says he would then take that to the floor.
We'll see. It'll be fun to watch. Thanks, Sean.